All right. So there's a lot of instructions. We're just going to do it one thing at a time. It does say write your code here. So we're going to do that. In the main method above, do the following. Create an integer array named A1 that is 2 rows and 3 columns. So int 2D array called A1 equals new int. So it's row major. So the rows go first and the columns go second. Set 3 elements, your choice, to your favorite number that is not 0. So A1, I'm setting element 1, 1, 7. Copy that line. I'm gonna set our right one in the middle in the second row to that, and I'm gonna set 0, 0 to that. All right, and then I said use the print array method. This isn't part of Java. It's a method I included in this program for you already. And what it does is it prints it out nicely. We'll talk about traversing 2D arrays next class. But we're just going to make sure my code works. Yeah, so we set 1, 1, row 1, column 1. Is that 57? I'm going to change them all to 7s because the fact that they're different width numbers makes it harder to see the columns in the printout. 7 is a lucky number for lots of people. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, create a Boolean array named A2 that's 3 by 5 and print it. Boolean, it's called A2 equals new Boolean array. Remember, 3, if I say 3 by 5, I mean rows 3, columns 5. Print array A2. Let's see what happens here. Going to get a lot of falses. Remember the default value of arrays, we learned that before. Primitives, integers and doubles are 0, booleans are false. Object data is a null by default. All right, set the center element to true, then print it again. The center element is row 1, 0, 1, item 2, column 2. So we're going to go A2, row 1, column 2 equals true. And then print array A2. Just verifying that true shows up in the middle. There it is, right there. Okay, so create a string array A3 using an array initializer, curly brackets. That's 3 rows, 2 columns that contains 6 different names, and then print it. String 2D array A3 equals new, no, array initializer. So I want 3 rows, 2 columns. So what that means is I'm going to have each row is going to be its own little thing, and each one's going to have 2 columns in it. So here's 2 columns in row 1. columns in row 2. And 2 columns in row 3. And then we do need a semicolon, and then print array A3. Hopefully this works. Yep. And Bill, Fran, Stan, Zane, Zach. All right. Print out how many rows A3 has using the dot length property. And then print how many columns A3 has using the length property. This is for practice. System.out.println A3 rows A3.length. That's how many rows you have. Just the length of the variable name. And then for the columns, you have to do A3. You have to get one of the inner arrays out and then get the length of that. And just it's traditional, just use A30, but you could have done A31 or A32 because they all, as you see, each of them has 2 elements in it. And notice we're doing length without parentheses. That's because we're back to one-dimensional arrays. And then finally, print how many cells are in A3 by multiplying the number of rows in the columns, not by, I want you to use the length property, not by hard coding the numbers. So we'll, number of cells the number of cells is A3.length times A30.length. Let's see if this works. Number of rows, there are 3 rows, there are 2 columns, and there are 6 cells. Yep. And I had sample output here. And then just so you can see, I made an overloaded method called print array. One of them takes an int array 2D, one takes a Boolean array 2D, and the third takes a string, a 2D string array. And I just did all the printing code here so you didn't have to, but we'll be learning about traversing 2D arrays next class. All right, that's it for this.